Good morning.
How's it going?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a very intense last week. I worked hardcore on the vocal, on coming up with some working lyrics, some working hook, and it's one of these things, like, it's so much tougher than people think. Just to get a solid hook and something that makes sense and something that's pleasing to the ear. And so I spent a lot of time on that, and together with Luisa in the studio, and I think we came up with something pretty cool that I would like to show you later on. And the other thing that I was focusing on, you told me last week, basically I focused on three things. You told me that we need a better guitar riff or a better bass line, basically. You were saying that the bass line that I had was a bit dull, I would almost say, or at least that's what I felt after listening to it a couple of times, and it seemed maybe a little bit outdated, so to say, like more something that would be in 2015, 2016, and of course I want the song to sound as fresh as possible. So yesterday evening and today the morning I spent on creating a new bass line. And
nice.
I don't know, I'm looking forward to showing that to you as well, and let's see what you think about it.
Cool.
I would say.
I have to admit, I listened to it already when you sent me the WhatsApp link. But
that's sure.
But it's really cool. But I would say let's play it here so everybody can see it, and then we can discuss it. But I think it's like really nice what you did.
Okay, cool. Go for the stereo. There we go. All right.
Here we go.
So here we are. So so far I basically have half of the track. So I didn't want to record the entire vocal with Luisa before talking to you, before getting the feedback of Dom and Massimo, and before basically having you let's continue further down this road.
Cool.
Because vocals and writing lyrics, it's so much work. I feel I wanted to make sure that it works first for you guys as well, before I put hours and hours or days actually into it and refine it. So the vocal that you're listening to now, for example, the first verse, it's still like it was before, basically. So also with that first verse, we tried out different versions of it. We had a lot of more lyrics and stuff, but we went back to the original one because I felt it was the only one that was actually working with the song, because of its chilled nature. Like it almost seemed like when we squeezed in more lyrics, it just didn't feel right. So I hope it's okay that the verse one is basically unusually long for the radio. I would almost say it has double the length. But we can argue about that or talk about that and decide what I can do maybe to get away with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So without further ado, let's have a listen, I would say.
Let's do this.
We are dancing like it's only us. We are strangers. Do you think this might be love? I can show you all the things you're dreaming of. Let me lead you, to a place so high above. And you ignite a fire in my soul. Tonight you rescued me from feeling low. Your heat, it's chemistry. Could we call this love? You affect me chemically. Your heat, it's chemistry. Could we call this love? You affect me chemically.
Man, I'm loving it. It's amazing. It's really cool. That was my impression when I listened to it before, and I just have to repeat it. It's cool. It's super cool. I really love it. I love the vibe. I love how it builds the energy, and I must say it's really like you can really feel it when it comes to the pre-chorus when she goes up with her voice. That's pretty cool. I love the bass line. It really sounds fresh and modern. Nice one. No, absolutely. And also how she sings on top of the drop is cool. So she takes it further than just like having the pre-chorus and then you go into an instrumental drop. It totally makes sense to me. And also the second part of the drop, you have this like little ding, 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 the high tone, which is kind of low in the mix. I would even bring this out more. This could be the main element of part 2 of the drop, maybe. So, because it kind of like connects to the rest of the backing. And yeah, man. Well done. Cool.
Thank you.
No, really.
You know, it resonated with me that you were saying the last time that I have a lot of sustained sounds, basically. So the saxophone going, and then if the bass line is just like in the background, I felt it was just too static, you know. And I think you were absolutely right with that. So I thought, because you were saying the bass line that I used initially, it wasn't giving it a rhythm, it wasn't giving it a groove. Mm-hmm. So I thought, okay, let's try to come up with a bass line that can provide that drive, basically. And for me, for some reason, like I really like the way it works out, for me personally speaking, because I think like this, it could be on the radio, but it's still more on the dance floor, on the club side, than on the pure radio poppy side. So I prefer to be on the dance side, you know.
Yeah, I think you meet both worlds. Yeah, and it now I think it really has this energy. It makes you kind of like groove and dance. What we were talking about last time. So. Yeah, you pretty much did you did your homework. Amazing. You.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
No, really, I love it so far, and I was thinking of what could be next. What's the next steps? Of course, I would say you would continue with writing the vocal, and it looks like you're doing well with that with Luisa, and I think it's all about the second verse now. Because the pre-chorus could be the same as the first one, basically. And also the drop should actually be a repetition of the first one. And I mean, maybe adding ad-libs and stuff that could come later, because there's a lot of ad-libs in there. It's all there. You don't need that actually to create the vibe, because the vibe is there. Can we listen to the drop again, please? Like you go in at part 27 or something like that, please.
You rescued me from feeling low. Your heat, it's chemistry. Could we call this love? You're affect me chemically. Your heat, it's chemistry. Could we call this love? You affect me chemically.
You have from bar 41 onwards, there is this like high pluck sound, bam, 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 or I can see the arrangement. But
let me see. So basically, I have here a new instrument coming in, which is opening up.
Ah, okay, yeah. Oh, wow. Boom, 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 boom.
Can you hear it?
Yep. Ah, there we go. This one.
So it must be in there.
Yeah, is it the piano the LD Falcon 9, lead Falcon? Maybe, because this is opening up and you can see the automation curve.
Oh, crap. Damn it. Damn your automation. Always does that. Yeah,
automation always sucks.
This one?
I think that's it. Hold on. Yeah.
That one?
Yeah, that's the one.
It's like it's a plucky sign with a piano.
Yeah,
When
I
you
think
open it up.
it's because the resonance is opening up, or the filter, and then you can hear the resonance better. And this, to me, this sounds like a sound which should be hearable at bar 29 already, because this kind of like could take over, and you could maybe even add another sound which plays that melody to make this the counterpart to the vocal. You know, it's a kind of like a.
So you would recommend? So basically, I thought about this too. I had it more in the foreground at the first drop at bar 29, but I felt that it's a little bit. It almost sounded too soft to me. It sounded too clean, too nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it would be cooler to just have the initial drop only with the filthy, strong instruments, and then have something smoother roll in towards the end. That was the idea. I just so that you understand my reasoning.
But hold on, we're talking about the part of the drop when she's not singing. The refrain, the refrain ohne singen part.
Sorry, 37 onwards. Yeah.
37. So I think once she stops singing, this part maybe should take over. That was my initial idea. If we can, if that makes sense.
Should I just open it up more?
Yeah.
And let's just see how it sounds?
Yeah, please.
I'm gonna go from 25 so that we hear it completely, yeah?
Yes, absolutely cool.
Me from feeling low. Your heat, it's chemistry. Could we call this love? You're affecting chemically. Your heat, it's chemistry. Could we call this love? You affect me chemically.
What are you thinking? Could work?
I like it more like this, I think, from what I heard.
And one more thing, maybe in the second part of the drop, I mean from 37 onwards, you could put in some parts of the vocal, and I'm thinking of this, you could be my chemistry, or what's she saying exactly?
Your heat is, what is it? What is she singing?
Or maybe just play it again, maybe for just play
Just listen to it again.
Your heat, it's chemistry. Could we call this love? You affect me chemically.
Yeah.
Okay, stop.
Your heat is chemistry. What? Something you affect me chemically. Can we call it love? Yeah.
I'm thinking of the part you affect me chemically. Can you just put this part in the second drop at the same places, but send it through a telephone filter?
Yep.
So it's more like a distorted telephone kind of sound.
I can do that.
Yeah. Then just you affect me.
So that's the last bit basically. So should I put it twice? At the end?
No, I would see what she's singing in the second part. In the first part she sings "You affect me chemically." This is like, and then she.
She's doing the same thing. She just she's just repeating. Let me show you.
Me from feeling low. Your heat, it's chemistry. Could we call this love? You affect me chemically. Your heat, it's chemistry. Could we call this love? You affect me chemically.
Oh, okay, but I see what you mean. So I'm only gonna have basically
this
these
part.
parts playing where she sings "You affect me chemically."
So this fills out the drop a bit, and it's kind of like an answer to what's coming from the saxophone. Yeah, and then you and you just maybe filter it like exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
Let's see how this sounds.
And then you can maybe maybe like saturate or distort a little bit, so it comes from like a distance, a broken speaker thing.
Yeah, let's see here what I have. The BC destructor. Let's see if that one works.
Whatever. Destroy this thing.
Cheap speaker. Let's try out this one.
Yeah, this
That
sounds
was horrible.
maybe try to work with the channel EQ
I need to
only.
listen to it with the bass as well. So let me try it from here. Just
Yeah.
so that I get
All this love, you affect me chemically. Your heat, it's chemical.
Yeah, or I could try to create some interesting vocal chops or something like this.
Yeah, I mean
I see what you mean. I
this
see
should
what you mean.
exactly. This should be just really in the distance and without all the lows, because the lows make it like sound muffled. So it should come from somewhere in the distance. That's what I'm thinking of to keep a little bit of her vocal atmosphere. But you can try around with other stuff as well, other ideas, just to get some
Yeah,
verb.
maybe like that. Also with a bit of kickstart on it, I would say. Let's see here.
Yeah, I mean maybe too much verb.
What about pitching it down or using some sort of effect on it to make it a bit rougher?
Maybe you can try to make it a little bit clearer. That means you give the frequency spectrum is higher, so towards like, I don't know, 3 to 5K. So you make it understandable, but still very light. Or maybe that's too high anyway.
Maybe like this?
Yeah, and maybe give it a boost around 2K. 2K-ish, yeah, and then, yeah, but make this narrow. Yeah, not too narrow, not too narrow. So it's a kind of a little bit resonant and
Okay, let's
see.
try.
Chemically.
Yeah, less highs, yeah.
Sounded a bit harsh to me now.
And too many highs in there. You have to go down to maybe 3K with the high, yeah, or even make, yeah. And can you make the curve steeper? Like 48.
This one?
Yeah, yeah. And the same with the lower end. And then, yeah, and then maybe make the boost a little bit wider. But you have to, yeah, tweak around with the details on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have you have 1 week to do that.
Sooth as well on it, you know?
You got 1 week.
A bit of just to take out some of that harshness that is being added. So just let me just quickly do that. Excellent. And another thing that I would do is, let's see here, female vocals full range, Europe, safe vocal, vocal harshness ultra. Now that sounds a bit too extreme. Let's just go for Vox 1. And I don't know, maybe it would be cool to put some either some panning on it or maybe stereo savage, just to place it a bit broader in the stereo spectrum, you know?
Make it more an effect instead of a vocal, yeah.
You affect me chemically.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Your heat, it's chemistry.
Maybe you turn it down like 5 to 10 dB so you can just hear it but not really clear, and then make it a little bit less understandable, so take away more of the highs, so it's more of a really like an echo in your head, you know what I mean? It's more, it's so,
should I maybe try out to put some delay on it?
I was thinking of like a very like cool delay, but not a fast one, like do me, you know, like a bar, a beat per beat, one per beat. Yeah, could work.
Should we try that maybe?
Yeah, yeah. I think you have to put 1/4.
All this love,
Let's see.
you affect me chemically.
Yeah, cool. I mean, you can work on that for the next couple of days and find something which you really like, and maybe she can come up with other stuff as well. And right now she's just repeating the phrase, and not sure if it makes sense to create something which is different in the second time for the second time, or you pitch it down, pitch it up, you know, an octave high or low, so you have a kind of like not the same thing coming twice, to make it a little bit more interesting. But that's trial and error, I would say.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Yeah, but you can try to do that yourself, and then I mean, next steps will be continue writing the vocal, build the whole track. It's amazing. I love it. It's really cool. And then we can work on details and stuff and make the flow go right. Maybe there's other stuff which comes up once we have the vocal. But so far, I would say next week I want to have you playing me the whole vocal.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get Louisa in the studio then.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, man, thank you so much. There's still a lot of stuff to do, a lot of more ear candy. I need to go deep into the drums. I haven't really worked on that too much yet, and it's then it comes down to like getting the vocal right with the mixing and yeah. Yeah,
I totally agree. Don't do too much. Don't overthink the backing right now. Just get the vocal right, because this is totally the right direction. And once we have the vocal, we work on the final layout, and then we go into tweaking all details, mixing, and maybe other gimmicks, as you just said. So this would be my way of working it. But it's really cool. I'm happy about that.
For you personally speaking, would you use the comps that we have recorded now, or would you say re-record those?
It depends. You should try that. Very often it happens that the first run is the best. You know that, you know? And then you try to recreate the vibe of that session and you just don't get it. It's worth a try, because obviously you can hook up with her quite easily. So that means you don't have to arrange travels and everything and schedule.
I haven't hooked up with her, by the way, but I can meet her easily.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to say thank you. I received an email from the Nexus guys, and they gave me some expansions for free. Yes, I'm super happy.
Congrats on that. Awesome. Cool, man. Hey, Carsten, was nice talking to you. Really nice. And have fun working on the track for the next couple of days, and then speak to you very soon. Okay?
Will do.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Ciao, ciao.
Soon.
Ciao.
Bye.